is one of the best schools in Nigeria. This school, in any competition they attend, they have performed excellently well. But because of the epileptic nature of the primary owners of this place, it has been traumatic. Even as I'm talking, we don't know exactly where we belong because it was federal. We were told others came, the Indians, and they are out. By now, we cannot say precisely where we belong. And so,
where will you pay your salary?
We are not being paid salary. We paid salaries in October 2011.
What I want the governor to do for us using his office is our welfare is next to nothing. As DSC workers, our salaries we don't have. Our retirement benefits, we don't have. Our monetization, we have not gotten. Then the school we are working in, we are working with the various facilities. We are trying to improvise as much as possible, living on stipends. One of the best schools in West Africa, not just Africa. The person that installed the ATM got out from this school. The first youth on the mass is from this school, and so many other great people we have already produced. We ask the governor to use his good office to give us these facilities and provide for us the library, and our hostels are in a very terrible state because we don't have funds. We try to save the funds for the very essentials of the school. Our pension fund contribution up to now, they are not accounting for. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
I have been standing on behalf of the workers, the entire workers of DSC, that are still company. We've tried our best. We've tried our best. But our best is not enough for us. The worst of it all now, if you go to our clinic right now, as I'm talking to you, people are dying. I just left somebody's house where they tell me that the father died. How are we going to manage? People are suffering from stroke and pain. It's so harmful to us. We want the state to help us.
All right, thank you.
The whole place is taking off. This is the same structures we have 30 years ago. And the school is expanding. When I came here in 1984, we had a maximum of 27 children in a class. Now we have as much as 50 people are pressing to come into Technical School. We are not wicked. We want to train Nigerians, but we don't have where to put them. We hope.
It's not very often you see workers who have not been paid for several months, who live on what I call allowances, and yet are still dedicated. We know the records of this school in terms of external performance. I have been somewhere where they performed exceptionally well a few months ago. In fact, it was after that really that I started asking questions, and I was told that although the performance is still high, but the infrastructure and other things are not measurable performance, and that got me worried. That's why I said this morning, let me come and see for myself exactly what's on ground. So I want to thank you for your dedication. I want to thank you for your commitment. I want to thank you for keeping the standards of the secondary school, of what the secondary school should be in terms of academic performance. Now, most of you are from Delta, even if you are not from Delta, you have become Deltas by adoption. Because if you have stayed here, yes, you have stayed here for several years, you cannot call it another state from state apart from Delta State. And most of the children are also from this state, so they are our own children. And we cannot say, oh, it's a federal school, it's a DSC school. Education is an important part of our program, an important strategy of our us to achieve our Delta State beyond oil. That is looking at Delta States, not just the oil sector, but other sectors. So education is very key, and that's why you can, when you go around, you see that we are improving on the infrastructure of our state schools. And we also want to put this school as part of that program with the infrastructure. Very unhappy with what I've seen in terms of infrastructure, the classrooms, floors. I saw the typewriter that I've not seen since I left DSC. AMCON is doing something about the company itself. Where the school will finally be decided after all the AMCON issues have been settled. Finally, we will take decisions that will ensure that the interest of the teachers, the interest of the students, and the standard of this school does not fall. So in the interim, what I want to do as a governor, especially for the teachers and the workers, is that for now, let me stay from to January this year. We'll see how we can complement what you are getting now with what I will call a state grant for your allowances. Like I said, as for the infrastructure, the buildings, the others will also assist you in working on the buildings, some of the equipment, especially the laboratories, the workshops, the business rooms, and all that, so that you can continue to maintain your standard.
We have been teaching because we find joy, derive joy in doing our work. But now that the governor has offered to add joy to the stress, we are so happy and we are blessing him from the bottom of our heart. You're not certain about state taking it over for obvious reasons. So what do you have to say? Where is the school's position now?
No, the school position is where DSC's position is.
Oh.
Yes, you see, the school really is a property of the Delta State Company. Okay. Just like the housing estate is, the hospital, they have a hospital. They have the Delta State Company has market and other things. So the school is also a property of the Delta State Company. Okay. Now, there are issues about the ownership of Delta State Company. The Federal Ministry of, I think, Mines and Powers or Mines or whatever, there's been a challenge of, where do we place them? At the time, it was privatized to some Indians, which also developed issues, like you've heard. The Indians just took over the main steel plants. Even at the plant, they did not take over all the plants. There are about 6 industries within that plant. But they took over only the rolling mill, and I think one or two others. And they did not take over the other areas. They didn't take over the hospital, they didn't take over the school, you know. So that has been a challenge for these structures. So why I said we should be very cautious. It's not a Delta State property, so I cannot just come and say I'm taking it over. It will have legal issues. If the state will take it over, there has to be some discussion between the state and the original owners. And I think that can only happen after the ownership is properly defined. That is when you can know who to discuss with. Let me assure you that the state government and some well-meaning Deltas are very concerned about what is happening in Delta State Company, especially some of our national legislators. And they are doing everything possible to ensure that the DSC comes back on stream.
Okay, Your Excellency, sir, one more thing. Speaking of infrastructure, you see the buildings, some of the ceilings, and even I was surprised to see this old typewriter. I don't know, sir, talking about fixing the infrastructure of the school, does it entail getting this new modern technology for them, like computers in other schools like this?
Yes, that's why I said we look at the infrastructure, we look at the buildings and the equipment and other things that will make the modern school.